Okay, I was a 9-year-old kid in Detroit, and my mom, my mom gave us 50 cents. We didn't get allowance a lot, and we weren't allowed to eat candy a lot. So Halloween was a big holiday for us. So that Friday night, I held that 50 cents in my hand, kept thinking, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? See, because we had a day between Sunday, so ordinarily if she gave it to me Saturday, then I might save a quarter to put in the basket in church. But because she gave it to me Friday, it burned a hole in my hand all night long. And I knew that I had to get up and I had to go get me a bag of candy. But I had to run the gauntlet because at 9 years old, although I was a loner, I liked kids, but I didn't like kids. I didn't like bullies. I was a bookworm. I was called the librarian of all things. So I got myself together. I didn't burn a hole in my hand, so I still had my 50 cents, and I was ready to cross these streets and go to the penny candy store. So I lived on Lothrop and 14th. I just had to go a few blocks, a big boulevard, bigger than K Street, because it had the side street, then the huge street, then the side street. And so I went, and I'm looking, because I had to make sure, because see, there are bullies out all the time, and they were known to steal candy from kids, especially if you had that little brown bag. They knew you went to the candy store. So I looked across the street and I made sure I didn't see any kids, because the kids that want to be your friends of the day, I don't like kids that much. So I just looked and kept looking and kept on going. The problem is the playground. There was a playground that I had to pass. Any child under 13 passing this playground without an adult meant that they were going to the penny candy store, because there was nothing else for a little kid by themselves or group to go. So I had to gently ease up to this playground, and I looked down to see if I saw anyone, because then I'd have to go pretend I like someone and go swing. But everyone was down at the end, so I tiptoed past, and I was just so happy, and I went into this penny candy store, and I was just, peach stones and sugar babies and the candy necklaces and the M&Ms and the bazooka bubble gum, and I just, and the 50 cent, I was so excited, y'all just don't know. It took me 30 minutes to get my candy, and unbeknownst to me, with my crazy self, I just pop a piece of bazooka bubble gum in my mouth and commence to chewing, because I used to like to blow the big bubbles, and me with my little grown 9-year-old self carrying my little candy, and outside, guess what I forgot to do? I forgot to check the playground. And as I passed that playground, I heard, hey, she went to the penny candy store. Look, she has a bag. Now I wasn't gonna chew up, I wasn't gonna swallow my gum, because I wasn't quite sure if it, kept in your heart and all that other stuff. So I went, okay. So I heard these little feet behind me, so I got to West Grand Boulevard, and I looked, and I took off running. I was a little kid back then, and I knew if I got past West Grand Boulevard, that's my neighborhood. So I knew all the ins and outs, and I heard them, there she is, she's going down she's crossing West Grand Boulevard, she's on 14th Street. I said, how do they know all of this stuff? Get out of my business. I'm not sharing candy. No. So I go through the used car lot, jump over the fence, and that was the alley behind my house, and I took off running. And I ran, and I'm looking back, because I know I could run, not as fast as some of the kids, but I could run, and I saw them at the end of the alley. There she is, go get her, you all go this way, you all go this way, but they just don't know, this is my alley. This is the alley we go and get apples and rhubarb and pears and all kind of delicious fruit and all these. So I knew which fence to jump and which garage to hide behind. And I was jumping and hiding because I was not sharing my candy. I had to roll it up in my shirt for jumping a couple of places, but that's okay because I'm not sharing my candy. I don't need any friends and I don't like bullies. So I went around to the alley behind the streets, the houses that look at my house. And I stood there for about 15 minutes going, They don't have a long attention span. So if I just wait a little while, the bullies will find somewhere else to go. So I tiptoed to the house that was directly in front of my house across the street, and I looked and I didn't see or hear anyone. I heard a lot of dogs and stuff. So that gave me a little bit of strength to go actually out to 14th Street to look down the street, and I saw them. The bullies, they're walking away because they thought they lost me. And I was so happy. And so I went, and this is what I forgot to tell you at the beginning. At the beginning of getting all excited and having my 50 cents and I'm going to get my penny candy, I took a jelly jar. Back then we had jelly jars. And, the jelly came in it, then you use it for a glass. I put a glass of water and my Nancy Drew mystery books. I had this tree in my backyard. I had a piece of wood, and that was my hiding spot from everyone. And I put that up there before I did my journey. So this would make sense. So after I found out that they were gone, I went to my backyard, I climbed up in my tree, and what an exciting afternoon I had. I had candy, I had water, and I could help Nancy Drew solve the mystery. What more can a 9-year-old want? That was it.